This week's Parshas Vayeitzei. I just wanted to share with you a quick, interesting thought on the Parsha. So, this week's Parsha starts the journeys of our forefather Jacob, Yaakov Avinu, and it's very interesting because there's a stress here. It says he left the place where he was and he went to the place where he was going. Now, we knew where he was. Why doesn't it just say he went there? Why does it stress where he left from? The Medrash tells us a fascinating point that because he was a righteous man, the fact that he left the city made an impact on the city. They lost him. They felt the loss, and there was an impact in the fact that he left. Therefore, it stresses that he left. And this is a beautiful concept to have an impact on our surrounding. But my question is on the placement of the teaching of this concept, meaning as follows. We know we have our forefather, Abraham. He was a great, famous man who brought many people close to the concept of God. He meant, from many places, he traveled from one city to another. Never once does it mention the fact that he left. It doesn't teach us this fact that he left. The same is true with Yitzchak, Isaac. He also became famous and wealthy, and he had a tremendous influence. Never stresses the fact that he left. Never teaches us this lesson about the impact that was left behind. When does it teach us this lesson? By Yaakov. Now here's what's interesting. Even by Yaakov, later on in his life, he becomes famous and well-known and makes a big impact in the world. But it doesn't tell us about his impact on leaving a city at that stage in his life. It specifically tells us at this stage in his life, where he was younger, he didn't do anything famous yet. He wasn't even out there at all. He was just quietly studying at home. And I think from here is a very profound lesson, which is we think that the impact we have on the surroundings, on our city, on our community, the people around us, are the type of things that are quantifiable, that we can brag about, that we can share. I did this, or this person did that. Look at all these things that person did. Really, the real impact we have is the person who we are. You see, when we're involved in human growth, in becoming better people, in working on ourselves to be better people, even not in public, even in the private of our own homes, the very fact that we're trying to be better has a spiritual impact on the people around us, but not just spiritual. It's tangible in a certain way. It rubs off on people. When somebody's trying to be a good person, that rubs off on the person next to them. When somebody's working on their character traits, that rubs off on the person next to them. This is so profound that this impact is more profound than the impact of the things that we can be honored for, the things that are quantifiable, the things that the world can say, look, I did this, or look, he did that. The greatest impact we have on the world and our surrounding and our community and our group of friends is not the things that we can say, look, I did A, B, and C. It's the things that come from the fact that we're growing as people and we're becoming better people. Good Shabbos.